everybody, this is Pastor Bonnie, and we are going to be working with modeling paste today, and I'm going to try to do white on white, and I'll show you again. That was too fast, but I got this online at Amazon, and it's just really thick. See, it's kind of like working with cake frosting, and I'm going to be just using this little palette knife. And what I want to do is just stop and start the video so it won't be so long, and let's see how this comes out. So what I've done is I have put a little glob on here, and you just want to kind of load the palette knife so that there's some on the back, and then for the flower petals we're just going to kind of wiggle it. And then we're just gonna do like overlap them. Oh, it's so pretty, you guys. This is so fun. I hope you guys are having a great day. It's a weekend and it's quiet in my house, so I decided to take advantage and see how this comes out. And we're just gonna keep adding the petals. I'll stop it and come back and show you what it looks like. And then I'm just gonna hold it up. See, isn't that pretty? And then we're gonna work on the little part in the middle. So what I'm gonna do is just put a glob in. So what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna put just a little bunch in the middle. And I want to make those peaks kind of stand up. Just to give it some texture. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this long skinny one. I kind of want to make some stems on it because I'd like to add more flowers, but I'd like to have some pretty little stems first. I went back to this little palette knife. I actually kind of think this one's going to be my favorite because it's a little, not, you know, I can bend and curve a little bit. So we have to put another, we're going to try. And like I said, you guys, I don't have any idea myself how this is gonna look. I'm just having so much fun doing the white on white. I just think it's pretty and elegant. And we'll see how it comes out. But it's been a nice day, like I was saying. I hope you find this relaxing. I really enjoy sharing this time with you guys. And I always tell everybody I am an ordained minister. So if you have any prayer requests or anything that you just want to be encouraged about, just leave me a request. You don't have to say specifically what's going on, but I believe in the power of prayer, and I've seen God work in many, many people's lives. I had one guy that he likes to paint along, and he actually said doing these painting lessons keeps him sober. So that's just such a huge, beautiful blessing. And we actually had an amazing prayer answered ourselves. My oldest son went to Iraq and came back with post-traumatic stress disorder, and so he just couldn't sleep at night. Every time he fell asleep, he was back in the war with bombs going off. And so he started drinking to try to sleep at night, and he ended up getting addicted to it, and he became an alcoholic. So we just prayed for many, many years for him, probably 10 years. And he finally got to the point where his liver was affected, and it was impacting his relationships with his family. So thankfully he went to rehab, and he's clean and sober and doing beautifully. So I want to encourage you guys, if there's some of you have been waiting for a long time, don't give up on them. I just want to show you guys, it's so pretty. Isn't that cool? And like I told you, I don't know myself how it's going to come out. I'm just doing it as we go, just learning. I'm learning right along with you. But anyway, back to what I was saying. God really does hear our prayers, and He's really there for us, even though it doesn't feel like it sometimes. And I've had just many, many, many prayers over the years. And sometimes He is with us even when it doesn't feel like it, and sometimes the waiting is the hardest. And one of my favorite things I like to share with people, I do pottery too. I have a little, actually that's a little bit too much. I have a pottery business called Dragonfly Corners. It's in an Etsy shop. And some of the pieces I throw on the wheel, some of them I don't. But the ones that throw, you have to let them dry for quite a long time before they're ready to be put into the kiln. And if you don't wait, I've learned the hard way, if you don't wait for them, they actually explode in the kiln. So sometimes the hard things that we go through are preparing us for the blessings that God has. So I just want to encourage you. Somebody maybe needs to hear that today. If you're going through a really tough time, and you just have been waiting and trusting and hoping and nothing seems to be working out, just hang in there a little bit longer. I'm going to try putting some leaves on this one, kind of like a bud. I think I'm going to try a little different palette knife. Let's see what this one does. This one's a little shorter, so we'll see what it does for the leaves. But anyway, I just want to encourage you. If somebody's out there and you've been waiting for a long time, just hang in there. Give God a chance. Sometimes He works in mysterious ways, and I know sometimes the most painful things I've gone through have been the best teachers. So that's also sometimes why we go through hard things, because in the end, you'll see when you get on the other side of it how close God was with you. And there's a Bible verse that I love in the Bible. It talks about how every day of our life was planned, and the Lord is aware of everything in our life. He knew us before we were born and loved us and planned things out for us, specifically for us to do. So nothing is by coincidence. You are created for your very own purpose. So, sometimes things that, like I said, things that we think are coincidence really aren't. So I encourage you, kind of learn to look for that. I learned myself just to look and see what God might be doing. If it's something beautiful and it makes you happy, that's a gift. The Bible says every good gift comes from the Father. And it says that He thinks so much about you that it can't be numbered. He's big enough that He thinks about you and He thinks about me. And I'll hold this up, you guys. I just really am having fun with this. I think I'm going to make some petals like they fell kind of on the ground. I'm a lefty, so I have to be careful not to drag my hand through it. But flowers are one of my favorite things to do. I actually really enjoy them. I love to get out in nature. I usually have really pretty music playing while I do this, but I can't talk to you and do it at the same time. So I decided just to let it be quiet. Try just some little different flowers. Kind of looks like a daisy. Like I said, I'm kind of experimenting too. I really like the little palette knife. I did a painting before this one, and it was a cool technique, but I used the palette knives were too big and the flowers just didn't fit the size of the canvas. This, I forgot to tell you, is an 8x10. You can pick these up at Walmart. They're really inexpensive. I think they're like $1 or $2 a piece. And the little palette knives I got on Amazon, like I said, and they were like $7 or $8. Now this one, I think I'm just going to put a little round glob in the middle because I don't want it to look like the other ones. Actually, let's get a little bigger. Kind of make a little round button. Oops. Well, I didn't mean to kind of make it run into my little petal. Let's see if I can fix it. Yep, there we go. And then when this dries, I might go back and smooth it over, you know, just the rough edges, but for now, let's put another little daisy right here. We have a hot day. It's going to be in the 90s. I live in the West, and it's humid today. So I am enjoying being in my nice air-conditioned office, doing something quiet, spending time with you guys. You can, once this dries, you can go back and you can put some paint over it if you want, but I'm just really enjoying the white. I just think it's really clean, kind of classy looking. And then, see? Coming out really cool. I think I'm gonna put like kind of like a vine going up here. Let's see if I can do it. And I've used up, it does use quite a bit of the modeling paste, but it is really fun to work with. So let's see. Kind of turn it so you guys can see it. I want to kind of make like a fern. It's actually pretty easy. Just have to be patient. And I'm holding my wrist up. I don't know if you guys can see that, so that I don't drag and go right through all the pretty wet paint. Oops, I kind of messed up this little guy. That's beautiful, isn't it? Now let's see if I can just make like a texture on it so it's not just a straight line. You just push down. I think I'm going to try just some tiny little flowers in here. And I'm not sure. Let's see if this will work. I use just a plain old paper plate to put this stuff on. It's easy. I can see this would be so addictive because when you do flowers, you don't really know how they're going to come out until you're working with them. At least I don't. The centers are kind of tough. Maybe I might just try a little paintbrush. Yeah. And then one of my favorite things to do is I love using a fan brush, and I'm going to show you guys. I just gotta find one that's kind of stiff. So this is my fan brush, but I'm going to see if I can just put just a little. I don't think I like it, to be honest. I think I'm going to go back to just doing the palette knife. I really don't like that. Now I gotta fix this poor little guy again. Yeah, that didn't work, but that's okay. We can fix it. Let's see if we can add some. I'd like to do a few more leaves, I think. I kind of don't like that part right there, so let's see if we can fix it. So I had so much fun with this stuff because you can definitely do that. I'm sorry my puppies are barking. They think they're helping. We had I live in a suburban neighborhood, and a lot of times there's people who go around the neighborhood and they try to get you to let them repair your roof or spray for bugs, and there's been a couple of them today knocking on the door, and so of course the dogs think they're protecting us. I think let's see if we can do. Could do the same flower. So yep, I just looked out the window and that's what it is. There's a guy standing out there with a t-shirt on and a hat. He wants to try to spray. We're not gonna do it. Although I probably should, but because I actually found a black widow this week, you guys. Isn't that terrible? It's the first time I've ever seen one. And I actually posted it on Facebook and asked other people if that's what it was, and it was. It actually, though, was a beautiful spider. If they weren't so poisonous, I would have left it alone. And one of my friends gave me really great advice and said you don't want to squish them. She had, her husband did that, and it had a whole bunch of babies inside of it that came running all out. So I didn't want to take a chance. So I ended up getting some spider spray, and I had to spray it, which I hate to do that, like I said, because it really was minding its own business, but no thanks. All right, you guys, here's what it looks like. Super, super pretty. And this, I'll show you the other one that I've used the modeling with. Hold on one second. So this was my other one that I did. You see what I'm talking about? The flowers were too big. I painted in the background and I just mixed paint, but it does dry nice and hard. But I really, really, really love this white on white. Very beautiful. not too bad for my first try. Well, I have so enjoyed this. I always, always, always enjoy spending time with you guys. I really appreciate you stopping in. And I just hope that you're blessed today. I hope that you have a nice time with your family. I pray that those of you that are having a hard time, things will get better for you. Just hang in there. And you are loved. You are amazing. You have great things in store for you. Take care.